The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network.
Good morning. Happy New Year. Happy New Decade. Welcome to the Wanda's Warriors Show. This is the first show of the decade, and I'm so glad that you are here to join it with me. This is the year 2020, which is the year of double vision, double blessings and favor. And I hope that you are excited about the year 2020 as I am. I would like for you to like, share, and start a watch party with this video. Again, like, share, and start a watch party with this video. I want to say happy birthday to those who may have a birthday in January. Happy anniversary if you have an anniversary in January, or whatever you're celebrating in January. Happy anniversary to you. I'll be celebrating a special anniversary on January the 19th, and that was the day that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So this year it will be 9 years. So to God be all the glory. So I have a special in-studio guest this morning, and his name is Mr. Lenny Lewis. He was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Lenny Lewis is a speaker, trainer, and motivator with a passion for helping others to succeed. He has over 17 years of training experience and has received several awards for his trainings. Lenny also has over 18 years of experience as an electrical instructor with over 29 years of experience in the electrical industry. He has trained for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union Number 3 in New York, the Independent Electrical Contractors Apprenticeship Program, the College of Southern Maryland Electrical Apprenticeship Program, the Associated Builders and Contractors Electrical Apprenticeship Program, and currently he teaches the electrical apprenticeship programs at Prince George's Community College and the University of the District of Columbia. He has a passion for volunteering and encourages others to stretch themselves beyond their self-perceived limitations. He is the founder and executive director of Passion for Progress, which is a nonprofit organization that provides the resources, mentoring, and training for individuals who have a desire to succeed. So viewers, please welcome Mr. Lenny Lewis to the show. Show him some hearts on your Facebook page. If you're on Instagram Live, show some hearts. And I welcome again Mr. Lenny Lewis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
How
morning.
are you? Happy
Doing
New
great.
Decade.
Happy New, yes, a new decade.
Can you believe it's a decade? It's
Man.
like 2020.
Yes.
So
man.
much to go with that.
Yeah.
You can go with vision, clarity, in the natural and in the spiritual.
And it went by so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when we talked about 2000.
I know everybody was buying water and stuff. Were you one of those people?
No, I wasn't.
was.
No, I didn't believe it. No.
I had a garage full of water. Like towels and everything.
Yeah. I want to thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It is an honor for me to be here today.
You're welcome.
I'm excited. I'm pumped up. And man, it's just an honor, just to be able to, speak to people on what I do. I'm kind of a behind the scenes type of person. I do things, and I don't really, share with the world what I do. But now what I'm realizing is that I have to step out and show people what I can do, what I'm able to do, how I can help people. Yeah. So I'm just ready to run. This new decade is going to be really, really great.
Yeah,
really great.
So you're from New York?
Yes.
So how long have you been in Maryland? What brought you to the DMV area?
Yeah, DMV area. Yep, DMV. Brooklyn, New York. Born in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
I've been down here about 11 years now. And really coming down here was a trip.
Wow.
Coming down to visit, because a lot of people don't leave New York, so I left New York, came down, see different areas. At the time, when you buying a home here, you get more home for your money
Yeah.
than you do in New York.
New
If that
York,
makes
I've
sense.
heard New York is expensive.
And I was just ready for change, just ready for a new atmosphere. Never leave home. That's my home. But always, just
Okay.
seeing other places.
All right. So how did you get involved in the electrical field?
Great question. I remember this is a true story. When I was young, I don't remember the age. I actually stuck a penny inside an outlet.
No.
Yeah, I don't even think my parents know, but I got hit. We call it getting hit in electrical. So I got hit, and I was like, why did that? I didn't do it again. Now I'm not crazy.
No, right?
I'm going, why did that happen? So at a very young age, I knew I wanted to be in the electrical field. So I went to high school for it, vocational high school in New York. William Grady, I got to give William Grady a shout out. Absolutely, Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. So I went to William Grady, and I knew that was going to be my career. I knew at a young age, absolutely.
All from sticking a penny in an outlet.
Absolutely, but don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Tell your children don't do that. That is awesome.
Yes.
And you have a very impressive bio. You're multifaceted, and I love that. And you are also a sales and marketing coach. What does that entail, and what should a client expect?
Great question. I have discussions on a daily basis with business partners, and we just talk about the whole industry of sales, and everything is commerce. You're either buying something or you're selling something. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Some folks say, no, I don't sell. We sell something.
Yes.
Especially now with technology. Everyone's online promoting this, promoting that. But, one of the things that people don't realize is sales is, it's professionalism. Sales is professional. So I like to get into the aspect of showing people it doesn't matter, like this show, right? This is sales, right? Our followers. Why do people follow us? Right, we may not call it sales per se, but they're following your brand, right? So everything is sales. So I just want to, what I do is I put out there how it is a professionalism, right? It's a professional industry, rather, and everyone does it.
Yeah.
So that you can tell me where you work, what you do, what your social life is. I'm going to tell you how you sell yourself.
Now, how do you tell someone that? Do you do online courses, or do you teach out of your home, or how do you go about doing
Great question. So I'm in an industry where it's primarily distribution and marketing. So when I mentor someone in that aspect, we go over there's things that this like electrical industry. There are what we call industry standards, right? There's industry standards in sales, right? Certain things where you want to make sure that you want to serve the most people. Like the most successful businesses are the ones who serve the most people.
That's true.
Right? So that's number one. So you have to learn how to service people. That have to be the first thing in your mind is to service people. Last night, I had a conversation we talked about how, some folks kind of shy away from certain things, but it's more than us. It's bigger than us.
Yes.
Right? I'll give a great example. Purina cat food was not created by an animal.
For real?
Right? So a human created Purina cat food. And I guarantee he doesn't eat it.
And everyone knows what that can of cat food means.
So he wasn't worried about him. I'm sure he doesn't like cat food, but guess what? He's serving.
The world knows.
Right? And that's what the main thing has to be. The focus has to be on who you're serving.
Wow.
Absolutely. Definitely.
And every client serves someone different. So how do you tailor that to that person?
Great question. One thing is knowing your product, whatever that product has to be, and knowing who your audience is, who your market is. That's number one. Who are you marketing this to? And we all, for those who have Facebook, we see the ads come up.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know that they control who those ads go to?
Because you can speak something, like you can have a conversation with someone, and it can be, let's say, Walmart.
Right.
And next thing you know, you start seeing Walmart ads come on your feed, and
Absolutely.
you're like, I didn't even go on Walmart.
Absolutely. I mean, there's algorithms now, and you can literally say, okay, I want to choose just single females in the DC area. You could choose males in Florida. Like you literally choose who you want to see, because the ads I see, you may not see. Right? So it depends. Someone may say, hey, I just want to target New York. So just the New Yorkers to see. Yes, it's huge when you get to marketing. You can really pinpoint where you want to market to.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah.
That is awesome. Now, you are also a social media coach for network marketing professionals. Is this a group that meets monthly? And if someone is interested in networking, how could they participate?
Great question. So I am a part of a network marketing company, right? And we do coaching, but I also coach other people who are in other companies.
Wow.
Right, because it's all the same. Again, it's all about who your market audience is, right?
Okay.
So what I do, I mentor a lot of people. We meet one-on-one. We do Zoom. I'm sure you've heard of Zoom, the webinar platform.
I'm just learning about
we
that
utilize
one.
that, and it's just really. And for me, like I tell people, I'm still a student. I'm gonna always be a student, right? But what I do know, I just try to pour into other people, and they just use that and just really take out of that what you can use to just become better at, social media is, as we know, one of the biggest platforms right now. And one of the things I always look at, people's pages, just kind of see what they do. And of course, doing what I do, I kind of like, I don't want to say judge the page, but I kind of look at the page and say, okay, this could be done different. This could be done different.
Okay.
And one of the things I always say to folks, if you plan on marketing yourself on in any social media platform, you have to be very mindful what you post.
Yes.
Right? Because I'm sure we have people that they put things on there, you're like, okay, no, unfriend.
You be like, what in the world are they
unfriend.
talking
They gotta go.
about?
They gotta go. I don't want to be even
unfriend.
associated with that, so that's the key thing. Like that's the number one
because
thing.
if you keep that feed, that untasteful, I'll use that word.
Great word.
I'm gonna be nice this year. That untasteful post in your feed, you'll start seeing more posts just like that, and you're like, why is all this negativity flowing down my timeline? Why is all this craziness flowing down my timeline? It's because you allowed that one negative post, and whoever they are associated with, if that picks it up. And to me, that is one of the craziest things about social media.
Absolutely.
And that's something that we also need to be aware of, who our friends are and who we follow on social media, because their timeline will also start feeding into your timeline.
Absolutely. And there's I call spamming. You can actually spam social media where they're going to chop you off from even getting exposed.
Wow.
If they feel like it's certain, that's why it's important for, let's say you with an organization or a group, not to post exact same things, because they'll see that as a spam, and they'll kind of just cut you off from being exposed. So it's a lot of different things that I've learned with these algorithms and things like that.
Even on YouTube, the algorithms.
Because sometimes you post something and no one will say anything for hours, and all of a sudden you get boop, 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 and it'll pause, and you get boop, 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 because it's not at the top. See, we think when we post, it's at the top of everyone's timeline.
That's what I think.
That's what I thought too. No, it doesn't work like that. So you post, right? So it's at the top of yours because you posted it, but how it trickles down is how they have that algorithm set up.
Wow.
Like if you go live and things like that, absolutely, definitely.
So when you watch what other people post and kind of get an idea, it's like we kind of judge, but not you really. I don't know if there's another word to use besides judge. Do you look at people's posts or in ministry, and do you give them any feedback on what they should and should not post? Because if you're in ministry and if you're in leadership and you're out here posting things that don't follow what your beliefs are, what do you say to that person?
Depends. See, one of the things I've learned, everyone's not open for constructive criticism. Everyone's not open to it, and I believe we always have to be open for someone to give us feedback. I did a event last night, and I called a couple of partners up and said, okay, critique me. I want that. I'm a Toastmaster, so as Toastmasters, we want that evaluation back. Yeah. But everyone's not open to evaluation. And in fact, some folks will say they want an evaluation, but they don't really want evaluation.
Yeah.
They want you to say what they want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear.
Okay.
So for me, it's folks who want that evaluation. I may, if it's friends or close friends, I may offer it, but you still got to, you still have to, there's a line that you don't cross when it comes to that. Just because everyone's not, I know who I can just come straight out and say, listen, no good.
No good. Take that post down.
But everyone is not. Everyone is not ready for that. For that type of real.
Now that is true.
Yeah,
Some people get offended, if you correct them. Yeah. But you're doing it out of love. You don't want to surround yourself with just yes people in your life. Right. You have to have people around you that will say, hey, your post is a little distasteful, take it down, And do not get upset and unfriend or unblock them or put up a post. I'm cutting everybody off who says something to me, some of us are so quick to do that. And you've had an extensive background in electrical.
Yes.
And that is just amazing to me. So if someone, like say a young man, wants to get involved in the electrical field, what would you tell him?
Oh man, I would definitely say go for it. I would tell a doctor to go for it.
Really?
Yeah, that's what, the whole construction industry. I mean, I think about it like this. I'm an electrician. Mm-hmm. I can go to Alaska tomorrow and do electrical. That's one job that a robot will not take over.
Okay.
Right? You will not have a robot installing lights, putting up fans, right?
Well, because
right.
that when you look at it that way.
Yeah. So we're looking at technology taking over people's jobs.
True.
It can't happen with electrical. It can't happen. I mean, I can't say it can. We never know. A robot may start putting up drywall. I don't know. But as of right now, a trade is always the best way to go. It's always one of those things where even if you don't work for a company, you can do your own side work and create your own, resume. Mm-hmm. So I would tell any young person, definitely get into the trades. I'm going to be biased. Electrical is the best trade. And yeah, it's just one of those things where everyone should, and we always talk about a plan B, right?
Yes.
So even if you work a job, it's okay to learn something different.
That is true.
I've done so many things. Like I would blow people's mind on what I've done. Like a lot of people know what I do, mm-hmm. but they don't know what I've done, Okay. But I would definitely say go for any young person, anybody, if you're looking to get into the trades, especially electrical, definitely go out there and learn. It's definitely a great trade to learn.
Okay. So even though you teach at different colleges now, are you in the electrical field? Is that your main job, or is the teaching at colleges your main profession?
Well, the teaching is the teaching is my passion at this point.
Okay.
I've been in the electrical industry for 30 years, right? So I'm on this side of what I call this side of the hill when it comes to that, meaning that it's great. I love to do what I do. So it's not like it's not a job to me. Mm-hmm. It's more of a passion. Yeah. So the teaching, that's where my true passion is, teaching. And I remember when I started teaching back in New York, Local 3, and I would have never thought that I'd be in front of a room, teaching a class, electrical. That would have been the last thing on my mind.
Why was that?
Growing up, I was really shy. I mean, that's a whole nother show, but I was really shy. And when I went through the apprenticeship, Local 3 in New York, and I was really, well, let me go back. I took electrical up in high school, right? William Grady, Brighton Beach. So I always had my mind focused on electrical. So when I left high school, I went right into, well, not right into the union. I spent like 2 weeks, about 2 months in non-union, right? So it's the difference between union and non-union. So after that, then I joined the union. And after the apprenticeship program, a teacher came to me and said, you should think about teaching.
Wow.
I'm like,
me in front of people?
Yeah, I was like, I'm good. He said, no, you should really. And he was really serious. I was like, okay. He said, you want to do it? I said, yeah, And I did it. And man, it was life changing for me.
It's something that you came to love.
Love it.
It's like sometimes what we think that we may be holding us back, or our own insecurities, is what God has called us to do. And that becomes your passion. And you're also a branding coach. I mean, you just have a lot. I was reading your bio and I was like, man.
Yeah, I've done a lot.
So how would you brand someone?
Goes right back to sales and marketing. Who are you? You're branding yourself and you don't even realize you're branding yourself. We just talked about our post. Mm-hmm. You're branding yourself, right? Okay. So if you think about that. So we think brand sometimes just as, a billboard, or just as, but you're branding yourself every single day of the week that you communicate with people, right? So it's all about how people perceive you, what you want to have perceived, right? So we have people that have brands where, you can work for a company. Doesn't matter what company you are. I use me, for example. I've worked for multiple companies throughout my electrical career, right? Okay. But I'm the electrician. I'm the expert, right? So when I go out there and get new clients and make relationships, it's me they follow. So let's just say I'm with A&A Electric today, right? And next week I'm with B&B. My client's going to call me. Doesn't matter who I work for, right? They're going to call me because that's the relationship, right? So that brand is when you follow a particular person, not so much the company. And that's what's very important, because you can have and companies brand themselves too, but when you brand yourself, it's like it's that personal relationship. I mean, we see it all the time on Facebook where folks have millions of followers. You know, they'll go live, and all of a sudden, you know, sometime I'll go on Instagram, I'll check a live out, and I just got the notification, but by the time I click, it's already 900
people on there, and I'm like, I do that, and I'm like, how did they get
exactly
these thousands of followers?
Exactly.
And it just shows that they was live like 1 minute or
exactly
less than that.
Exactly, and it's just that person. Social media has made that so much easier now to get across to, you know, millions of people. So yeah, the branding aspect is pretty much, you know, this just you and what you want people to know about you. You know, that's why there's millionaires being created online, faceless. I mean, there's faceless websites that are multi-million-dollar websites because of that particular brand, what they represent. But as an individual, we also brand ourselves as well.
And that's interesting because, like, you see a lot of people that are life coaches. We see that everyone wants to be a life coach. And I'm starting to see on Instagram more, you know how they do like sponsorships?
Yes.
On Instagram, I'm starting to see the word branding more. So that's why I brought up the question about branding, because I was like, why is all of this starting to show up more? And so does everyone need to have a brand?
I think if anyone's in business, they need to have a brand.
Really?
If you're doing any type of business, you need to have a brand. That's what people look to. That's what people, they want to hear you talk. They want to see what you have, especially if you have an interest that people, and again, we have all different markets, right? I mean, there's a bird watching market, right? Okay. So you think about it. I mean, some people don't like who wants to watch birds, but that is a huge market, bird watching, right? So it's very important to make sure that as you're creating your brand, you make visible what you want to see visible. Going back to what we said about your post, I mean, everything, like there's people with travel, right? I'm in the travel industry, so people, my business partners, you know they're in travel because you're going to see that, you know, destination they've been to. Okay. You're going to see, you know, just pictures of travel. A good friend of mine, his daughter is let me get this right. His daughter is a travel, not an influencer, but it's another name for it, where she gets paid to just go to destinations and rate them. She's been all over the world, you know, but everybody knows her. So they look to see where she's been next. Okay. They look to see what she thinks about this hotel, you know. So that's
Okay,
that's huge.
We have a lot of followers, and they're saying that they needed to hear this.
Oh,
on
great!
The branding.
I'm glad it helped.
So even this is a gospel network. So how would you brand someone in ministry? Someone like me, for an example. Someone that is a minister. I have a lot of playwrights and directors that are on my page, a lot of gospel artists. How would you brand someone like that? And do you offer online courses, or do you have personal one-on-one where you're on the phone with them? How do you go about that?
It's great you said that. The branding part, I mean, and it seems like it's really hard. Like you, for example, you have a lot of followers, right? You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram. So that's where it starts. People knowing who you are, like who are you, you know, and it's really your personality, you know, things that you display. And you can tell when you go live, people want to see, like people want to see what do you have to talk about, right? So as far as like ministry is concerned, and it's really any industry. Okay. It's really getting yourself out there. Like what do you want people to know? See, one of the biggest expenses in business is advertising. Right? Yeah. Marketing and advertising, that's your biggest expense in business. So that's what you can, and see with the social media, that has sliced down so much.
Cut down the marketing and budget.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's
like,
free.
Yes, basically. Like right now, we're live right now, right? I don't know how many people watch it, but just imagine being able to use social media, which everyone goes to that. I mean, that's what everyone goes to now. And you just use that and just start getting your message out there. Right, start getting your message out. Whatever your message is, it's all different industries. So let's say you're a minister. You know, now churches stream, right? Yeah, churches stream. So if you can't make it to the church, you can watch it online. So things like that is what makes, you know, gets you out there. Now that personal branding is your message. It's your message. I learned a long time ago that, you know, we all have stories that we think, you know, you don't want to tell people, but our stories save people. They right? Yeah. So if someone's sitting there thinking that they're going through, it's always someone that went through worse.
And your story can always say, we heal as we reveal. So the more that the things that have happened in your life that you feel you don't want to talk about, God will have you to talk about it. It could be someone sitting there be like, I went through the same thing. And I was wondering how to get through that storm or how to get through that trial. And once they hear you say that, then you give that person hope. So
Absolutely.
I remember when I was first diagnosed with breast cancer, when I worked with the first book, and it was people that was saying, because my book is very transparent in what I was going through. And it was like, I was thinking the same thing, and they kept quiet.
Yep.
So that's the power, I guess, of branding and telling your story. We all have a story to tell. Each of us have a story to tell. And we just have to tell it because you don't know who will be listening.
Yeah. And those folks who are going through things, they think they're alone. They feel like they're alone.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, okay, where do I turn? You know, but when you hear someone who has had the same challenges, when you hear someone who has had the same, you know, struggles, and you just see them today, you're like, really? Like you know?
Yeah, you went through that?
Yeah, like, no, like some people don't even believe it, you know? But it's one of those things where when you share your story, we all have stories, right? Every, you know, we call our birthdays chapters now, right?
Yeah.
So remember, we are the author of our book.
That's true.
Right? The chapter of our life.
What page are you writing?
What page are you writing?
Yeah.
So those pages have to be revealed. Someone needs to read your book.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. I mean, I've heard stories, even me, I have stories, man, you know, like for me, my mother passed away. I was 17 years old.
Oh, wow.
I found her.
No.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. So
you will be able to speak to someone who has lost a parent.
Absolutely, at a young age. Absolutely.
See?
Absolutely. And that's what I mean. So, like some folks in line probably saying, wow, like a lot of my friends know, but a lot of folks may not have known that, you know. So telling your story makes someone, number one, realize that they're not alone. Number two, there is a way up. I don't want to say the way out. It's a way up, right?
Yes.
Because when we go through things, we're supposed to learn from them, right?
Yeah.
So we don't get out. We want to go up.
Go up.
Right? So there's a way up, and then ultimately you can achieve what it is you want to achieve. There's really nothing, and I get it. When you're young, you're like, you know, but when you go through things and you get up, you're like, wait a minute. Things that you've never imagined you could walk away from.
Yeah, you walk away.
I mean, I have friends that have some serious stories, and I'm like, man, you see the power in that person, you see the strength in that person, but you got to realize that you can do it too. You know, that person just did it because they didn't want to stop. You know, I had a discussion on the way here, and we were just talking, me and my partner were talking about just how there's so many adults with children, that the mindset is just unbelievable. Like they don't believe.
Wow.
You know, they don't want to go further, whether it's fear.
Yeah.
Or whatever. We just have to realize, I mean, because we teach our kids, right?
We do.
Don't give up.
Don't.
You keep going.
Yeah, but then our mind, and
right,
that's
so we
where the
teach our
change
kids
has
that,
to
but we're
come
sitting
in.
there, no.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think about certain things. You know, one thing I learned, there's a book. It's okay if I pick the book, right? Think and Grow Rich, right?
I read that book.
Think and Grow Rich. Great book. So that book talks about how successful people make decisions quickly, right? And rarely, if ever, change their mind. Unsuccessful people take a long time to make a decision, and they're quick to change it.
Yeah.
Right? They're quick to change it. They'll talk themselves out of things when your gut tells you, you know, I need this. But, you know,
Come up with 50 million excuses.
Reasons why not.
Why not to do it.
Why
And
not,
I
exactly.
love that you brought up the word change. Because as we go to commercial, the song that you will hear during the commercial break is Change Me by Tamala Mann. We did not talk about that.
Right.
So that's God. In order for anything to change that you want to happen, you have to ask God to change you. It has to begin with your mindset. So enjoy the song. They're going to play a snippet of the song, and then after the commercial, we'll come back with Mr. Lenny Lewis for more. So enjoy the song. Stay tuned.
Change me, oh God. Make me more Wash me through and through. Create in me a clean heart, so that I may worship you. Change me, oh God. Make me more like you. Change me, oh God. Wash me through and through. Just create in me a clean heart, so that I may worship you. I need you to change me. Jesus, change me. Like only you can, Lord, change me. Is anybody out there need the Lord to change something about you? Change me. Whatever's not like you, Lord, I want you to change me. Do it for me, Lord. I dare you to just put your hands on yourself. Lord, I want you to change me. Like only you can, Lord. Change me. Can y'all help me say it? It's easy. I need you to. Oh, come on. Say it like you mean it. Change me. Whatever's not like you, Lord, I want you to.
Welcome back to the Wanda's Warriors Show. I hope you enjoyed that song, Change Me by Tamala Mann. I mean, the lyrics are so profound. It's like here's the beginning of the year. People will talk about New Year's resolutions. The gyms are full, correct? The gyms are full for the next probably 2 weeks because statistics say after the 17th of the month, all New Year's resolutions have gone dead. So then the gyms will be empty by the end of January. So change me. You have to ask God to do that first because your mindset has to change first before you go about doing anything, whether it's a job, whatever it is, whether you want to take on a new task. You know, you have to ask God to change you first, give you the enthusiasm, the passion to do what you're asking him to do. And so we're back with Mr. Lenny Lewis, and he has an extensive bio, and you do a lot of volunteering. That's something that's near and dear to my heart. I love volunteering. So can you share with the audiences on what type of volunteering that you do?
Man, I do a lot. Okay, so in New York, we did a lot of volunteer. One of my organizations in the union, we Thanksgiving. We prepared meals, gave out meals. I've done that here as well. Now my biggest volunteer is with kids, with the youth. And I found it to be another one of my major passions is the youth, and just really getting them in the right direction.
Because this generation is a little different than
Yes.
ours.
But I realized too, that they're still babies. Yeah. Like I talk to young people, and if your perception would be, okay, when you talk to them, still babies, still kids. You know, they're still, But I think that what they need is they need to hear less of this and more of the hugging, so to speak. So
the emotional they need.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Again, social media has kind of become the babysitter for this generation. I mean, if you look at when we were coming up, you know, there was more time with your family. You had family dinners, and you know, everyone sat at the table, or you did things as a family. We didn't have cell phones, you know, at the table. Now, no one sits down to eat for family dinner. Someone will be in another room eating. Someone will be doing this, and then everyone is on their phone. So where's there the communication on what a child is going through? Because now they go through so much more. You have social bullying out here. Domestic violence is even in the high schools, and now sometimes the middle schools. So how do you relate to these children? Do you have children yourself?
Yep. And
Okay.
see, this the biggest thing I learned with children. And you know, and you can tell this by if you ask a child how they like their teacher. Right. So how do you like your teacher? How do you like your math teacher? And just listen. See, we gotta do more listening.
Yeah. Than this.
One thing I love about children, they're brutally honest.
Yeah.
Right? They're gonna tell you the truth. And just listen. See, as adults, we're supposed to pick up on certain things that we don't. It's just regular words. It's not regular words, right? Especially at that young age. That some children speak pain, right? They may not cry, but the words they speak, right? Then we have some children where you can tell that they're hanging with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
It's just the subtle things. But see, again, we're just so busy like this, and we're so busy like this. We're not paying attention
True.
to what they speak about. And I have a successful speaking. It's called successful speaking, where I teach children to speak professionally in front of a room, just to prepare them to.
Oh, wow.
You know. And, you know, speaking is the biggest fear people have in front of people, and I had it too. And you couldn't give me a blank check and say,
Me
"Hey,
either.
put whatever you want." And it's amazing why I'm in front of people speaking now. But I realized when you teach children that, I mean, their posture goes up. Wow. Yeah, they're more. You know, they'll raise their hand now, and we've had students that got back to me and said, "Hey, thank you so much. You know, because of this course, I now can, you know, I have no problem going in front of the room." And I think when it starts, and we talked about earlier, parents are just set in their ways. Right? So there's a phrase, there's a quote that I learned. It's easier to give birth than to raise the dead.
Wow.
Right? Meaning that we get them young. Because adults, it's just one of those. And adults, you see, this is not all adults, but a lot of adults are just, they're like this. They're like, they don't, it doesn't matter. But if we can grab those children young and kind of just get them in just the right direction, and that's what they want, direction, right? Because they follow the bad crowd. Why? That's where the love is. Yeah. Right.
And if you're that parent not showing them emotional love, not showing them physical love, love is not just saying, I provide a roof over your head. Right. Yes, that is love,
Absolutely.
But we need the physical touch, a hug. When's the last time you as a parent has told your child that you love them?
Right, absolutely. And I've been, and see, I don't like the word at risk. I don't like labels when it comes to children, because that's an affirmation to me. Yeah. Right? So there's no kids at risk. So my thing is, I like the children who may have the challenges. Okay. Right? Just to show them it's not a big deal. You can do this, you can do that, and stick with them. Right? Yeah. Stick with them. That's another thing too. You can't tell a kid. I mean, it's good to tell a kid something nice, okay, and then you're gone. Right? So you have to keep that connection. Yeah. Whether I get emails now from students that I've had in New York. Wow. They're now business owners now. Because when I do my class, I also, I squeeze in there the motivational speaking in there. Like, even though I'm teaching electrical, I squeeze in some motivation, or squeeze in some business. So I kind of, put all that together. Yeah. And you always want to see the results of you helping
the fruits
someone.
Of your
like
work.
That's huge to me. And I don't, when I volunteer, I don't look for anything in return. I do it because that's what I want to do. Right? Yeah. I love to see the results. And I know there's people out there that need help. I mean, there's people out there that need help. On the way here, I just thought about how, the way everything is going on. There's a lot of crazy things going on right now, right? And I remember hearing and I don't watch the news, but I remember this particular news report. The mother said, "I would never have imagined it would be me," right? Because we see stuff all the time on the news, and we got, wow, that's sad. But
the first 10 minutes, you're like, okay, this is depressing. Just show me the weather.
Exactly. That's why I don't watch the news anymore. But we got to realize, we talk about life being short. We talk about this. So why aren't we doing more? Like, why aren't we acting like today's our last day, because it could be.
It could be.
Right.
You know, a lot of people, they'll say, you're not promised tomorrow. No, you're not promised today.
Correct.
You know, and I want to pause right here. If you, listeners, if you would like to call in, if you have any questions or comments for Mr. Lenny Lewis, please call in at 301-429-9247. The number again is 301-429-9247. Call in and give him some words of encouragement. Let him know his thoughts on what he's talking about before 12 o'clock, before we go off the air. Thank you so much. I just wanted to get that in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's, you know, when I hear people say that, you know, life is short, I'm like, really? So what does that mean to you?
Yeah.
You know, what does that mean? You know, all these cliche things that people say, and it really means nothing. Just like resolutions, New Year resolutions. I asked quite a few people that I know, hey, so what's your goals for, you know, what's your goals for 2020? Well, I'm not really sure. You know, I want to do this, I want to do that. So what do you have set up? Like, what's your plan to get that done?
Yeah.
But no one has a plan.
You don't wait until 2020 gets here to start working on a plan. You should have been working on your 2020 plan in the actually June of 2019. At least that mid part of that year, you should have already have written down, write the vision, make it plain. You should have already written down what your goals were for 2020, started making those connection calls, started booking events or whatever it is that you do for 2020. And then June of 2020, you need to be working on 2021. That's how I do my schedule.
Absolutely. We should have left 2019 the way we wanted to start 2020.
True.
Right? You know, people say, okay, I'm going to start Monday. Right?
Yeah.
And then you slack off, you start one, okay, next Monday.
I'm that diet Monday person.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna start that next Monday, right? So, and it's not too late. See, the thing about it is not too late. You know, that's why I speak to people, because it's not too late. And I understand sometimes we have fears. You know, my thing now, you know, is saying it's a new year, but same fears.
New year, but
fears.
the old attitude, if it's a new year's 2020, but your mindset is still stuck back in 2019, 2018, well, how are you going forward?
Absolutely. We do a call every month. We do a call, and this call is for our business. And there's one particular call that just said, "Let it go, let it go." Yeah. Right? Whatever happened last year, it's gone. Clear up all these. You know, if there's any issues with people, just clear it up, because people don't realize when you have issues with someone or whatever the case may be, it's doing more harm to you than to that person.
Especially that unforgiveness.
Clear it up. I mean, if you can see someone and your whole mood changes, clear it up.
Yeah.
Right? It's affecting you.
Yeah.
You're the one, you know.
Yeah.
So my thing is, for 2020, everyone, and this is just my opinion, everyone should have a goal to get to the next level or step in their life. Now, what is that? I don't know. Depends on what your goals are, right?
True.
I'm also going to say, you know, go for what you're passionate about. Do it. And see, one thing I learned in business, you're going to have people that's going to look at you and say, well, why would you do that? Yeah. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter. Yeah. I had one of my business partners said, you know what? When those people start paying your bills,
then
when they start paying your bills, we can have a little chit chat about it. That we can have a little chit chat.
Yeah.
And that's real. I mean, it's not you know, offensive, but think about it. You're letting folks who really are not a major part of what you're going through in life determine what moves you
have
make
an
in
opinion,
life.
and it's like, okay, you're not paying my mortgage, so your opinion is not valid.
Right. So, and we take, when someone's trying to help with nothing in return, right? We look sideways. We look, something's fishy. There's an old saying: if it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. True. And that's why we have less successful people today, because of that crazy. That's a crazy statement. Cliches, that's a crazy statement. Yeah. Right. So how could you say if it sounds too good, it probably is? That makes no sense. I said it when I was younger, right? I said a whole lot of things. Money don't grow on trees. I said all those things, right? But as you get older and understand, it's different. It's about you, especially if you have children. If you have children, that should be your plan right now. Should be, because we say life is short, right? So if life is so short, your plan should be how are they going to be set up? Yeah,
what is the legacy that you're leaving for your children?
Absolutely.
That should be written out. Your children should know, okay, you're an electrician. Let's say you have an electrical company. My dad, you know, Mr. Lenny Lewis, he has an electrical company, and I know how to be an electrician, and we're going to own this. We need to be owners show our children what business is, and even pass down the legacy to them. And also, my thing now that I'm looking more into is land. Show them that, because that's where you generational wealth, not in renting so much, but owning. And also the mindset. What are you teaching your child? What are you saying to the child? We have to be careful, because they are listening to every single thing. If not, they're not listening to you, they're listening to social media.
Absolutely.
So you need to be aware on what's going on around your child. And you are the founder and executive director of Passion for Progress. How long has this organization been in existence, and do you provide the resources to a particular school or community?
Great. Yep. So Passion for Progress. It's so funny. And one day, things just come to me sometimes. Like, things just pop in my head. And I knew I wanted to start a nonprofit, and I just was like, I'm gonna get a name for it, and it just popped in my head. Passion for Progress, right? And it's been around now for about 8 years.
That's awesome.
About 8 years.
That's awesome.
And I'm still, it's so funny. We talk about goals and things like that. So with 2020, I'm going to really get it out there, right?
Okay.
I'm revamping everything. I'm going to really get that out there. And I've been doing things in between that, but really not in the name. I mean, it's in the name of Passion for Progress, but I haven't really put that particular brand out there, right? So yeah, it's really designed for anyone, right? I speak to youth a lot, but it's designed for anyone who just has and I believe everyone has that passion to become better, right? And sometimes they just don't know where the resources are. So I've gotten together a group of people. I have carpenters, I have plumbers, I have all different computer people. I have them they're really get up and ready to make it happen. And I remember when I first started the organization, and this is I'm gonna just be really transparent right now. When I started the organization, I was really excited, pumped up, to get this thing started. I was talking to people. I'm a networker, talking to people. But what I found out, and this is just the truth, this is just reality here. I spoke to some people in some offices, right? And it's just amazing. I'm gonna say this in short. Not everyone wants to have a community that's successful.
That's true.
I'm going to put it right out there. What I've learned in my journey, especially volunteering, helping, why is it so hard to give back? Yeah. Right? If you want to give back, why is it so hard to give back? That's something to really take a look at, right? I didn't say pay me anything. Yeah. This is what I want to do. Why am I getting pushback for that? Yeah. So my interpretation is someone's benefiting. Someone's benefiting off communities not being together. Someone's benefiting
that could be a whole show.
That's a different show. Someone's benefiting off people not coming together. Someone's benefiting off of that, right? So my goal is to really just have everyone just think outside the box, and you don't need a whole. Because one thing I learned, you can't change the world. No. Some people are just going to be who they are, and that's great.
You gotta let them be.
Exactly. But those who are ready to help, who want to be a part of this movement, doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't even matter. You just need some folks that's really going to take it serious on what needs to be done. Yeah. So when I found that out, it just made me like, wow. I just said, wow, But I'm definitely going to, in the name of Passion for Progress, really just go out there. I know there's some folks out there who are willing. Like I said, I have computer engineers. I have all the trades.
That's awesome.
I have a carpet person. Like I really believe in the construction trades. Like I believe anyone can do it. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't even matter your record.
Male or female.
Exactly. That's another industry too, where we have a lot of challenges from people who have criminal records, so they can't get the clearances. They can't go in the government. But guess what? You could be an electrician. You could lay carpet. You could, hang drywall.
Those are lifetime trades.
Lifetime trades. Doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah.
I can go to Alaska tomorrow and do electrical work. Right? So that's why I say the trades are very important. But we need to have the resources, which what I plan on providing, to get that training. Also too, my biggest passion for is for the youth and seniors. Okay. Right? And we have military folks coming home. Like how do you come home from the military?
Can't get a job or a home. Yeah, you'd have nothing.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah,
right.
You have so many homeless veterans out here. It's
unbelievable. So also have a goal to provide training for military people coming back. A trade, you cannot, no one can take that from you, right? No one can say, okay, it's a trade. It's you. It's your skills, your talent. But I will say that I told my students this: make sure that whatever it is you choose to do, become the best at it.
True. It
doesn't matter what you do. See, we get mixed up in what we're doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. We still have the number one electrician. The number, because we go to Google right now and Google electrician in your city. Page after page after page, right? Why would they pick you to be the electrician?
Yeah, you have
That's
to
your brand,
out.
right? That's where your brand comes in, right? You got to create your own reputation. So if someone says, I want a good electrician, it's going to be referrals. I would say, since I've been here, 99.9% of the work I've done was through referrals.
Wow.
Yes. Someone who told someone who told someone who told someone. Because I'm a little different when it comes to that. Because if I come to your home, you have an issue, I'm going to tell you why you have that issue. I'm going to tell you what happened.
Okay.
You ever had someone come to your house do some work, whether it's a cable guy, they just don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing.
They'll
just
say good
sitting
morning
there.
because they have to, right? Because they're at your door. But then they do, okay, all right, everything's fine.
Yeah.
You need to know. Like, that's how I feel. You need to know what happened. So I may ask you, hey, so when the lights went out, what were you doing? And folks are like, Because that helps me determine, so just be the best at whatever it is you're going to do. And it doesn't matter. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lewis. Now, if someone wants to contact you, what is your social media? You have a website, Facebook page, Instagram, or Twitter. How would they reach out to you?
So right now it's active, and everything else is just coming up. So on Instagram, I'm Lenny Lewis Live, Live.
Okay.
I'm also Success Fiend. That's another brand I'm creating.
All right.
Success Fiend, and Facebook is Lenny Lewis.
Okay.
So yeah, if they contact with me with me on those platforms, you'll see when everything else is going to be actually opened up.
I love it. Well, I want to thank you again.
My pleasure.
Starting the new year out.
Yes.
It's just wonderful to have you on my show. And I thank Mrs. Jennifer Foxworthy for the referral. I really think that.
Yeah.
Thank her for that. So, at the end of each show, I do a food for thought. So, today's food for thought is by Joel and Victoria Osteen. And it's called Christ Makes Everything New. And I chose that one because the new year has started. And the scripture is Psalm 51, verse 10. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. With the new year comes fresh starts, resolutions, and new beginnings. It is a time for making plans, setting goals, and writing visions. But the greatest new start of all comes through Jesus Christ. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17 says, Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. If you need a new beginning this year in any area of your life, allow Christ to make you a new creation, and the old will pass away. He will put a new and right spirit within you when you call on his name. This year, make your relationship within your number one priority. When you put God first and make it your highest priority to please him, you can expect to live a blessed, fulfilled life. Scripture states, God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Notice who God rewards, not who people half-heartedly seek him, or only seek him when they have a problem, or come to church only on special occasions. God rewards people who diligently seek him. Psalm 34:10 reads, Those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. When you seek God daily with your whole heart in this year, you won't be able to outrun the good things of God. So that's today's food for thought. Meditate on that. And thank you for watching today's show, Wanda's Warrior Show. Come back next Friday, same time, 11 a.m. I will also have an in-studio guest next week, a very special in-studio guest who's a dear friend of mine. So come back next week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember that my motto is to live out loud. Put that on a Post-it. Put that somewhere where you can see it every day. and to live out loud. Again, thank you, Mr. Lewis, for being on the show. He gave out his contact information. Please contact him. He can be of great help. So thank you again, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.